let's talk about Brandon Aiyuk. He had an interview today, and to me, I sort of think of him as like the new Jimmy Ward on the team. And let me say what I mean by that. He is an independent. I mean, he's not like Nick Bosa, where he's like basically an independent contractor, but he's not parroting the coaches. Bosa's a little bit like that too. But Ayuk, like he hasn't been given the contract. He's not really all in with the team. Like he's not in Cabo. I mean, he does everything right, but when he talks, it feels like a level of truth that you don't get from every player. And Jimmy Ward was that for me. Like when he talked, I'm like,
convicted,
man,
actually.
Convicted, truthness. He is the new Jimmy Ward. That's the highest compliment you can get from me as a player.
He is very much that. And we've been talking really this time last year about his leadership. And I said last year I wanted him to have a captain's patch. He didn't get it last year. We'll see about this year.
He deserves it. Way more than Debo. Not that he's a captain either.
He deserves it. He definitely deserves it. And there was so much that he talked about today. And he does come across very real. And it's funny because, all right, so he talks about Jair Brown. He talks about how much he's impressed. He talks about his interceptions, how they have lockers next to each other, all these things. Props him up. Then somebody asked him, it might have been you, I don't know, asked him about Luter Jr.
Oh my God. Thank you. Because he was like 28. And they're like, yeah. And he was like, ooh, yeah, no, I don't know. That's who we beat on the 40-yard throw today.
And I didn't realize that until you had said it.
So he was like, 28? Oh, yeah, man, I don't know. I just don't know. Like, yeah, I smoked that fool.
Yeah.
I smoked that fool.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
To be fair, like, Luter's coverage was good. It's just Brandon Aiyuk, like, dog. Sorry.
Well, he's really good. What he's doing there, whether intentionally or not, is a couple things. One, he's not killing the young kid's confidence in front of everybody.
Why do that? That's your teammate.
Two, he's also letting him know, you haven't shown me anything yet. I can't even use your name. You're still number 28 to me. Go prove it.
I don't know. Yeah. No, it's perfect.
I love it.
I love Brandon Aiyuk. That was dope. And again, I just want to say, like, the way he's carrying himself, he really, dude, if he were on a different team with a different quarterback and a different approach, he would be getting 150 targets a year. He'd be putting up 1,400 yards. He'd be looked at totally differently. And he knows it. Like, he's not some super humble guy. He might be a little quiet, but I asked, like, do you see yourself as underrated and overlooked? He was like, yeah. Like, that's how I felt my whole life. And so I respect that about him. I have a coach I talk to a lot, old coach, not in the league anymore, but used to be in the league, has a Super Bowl ring, and he loves Brandon Aiyuk. And he talks to me about the team. He's like, I wish I could have had him. Always compares him to Torrey Holt. Torrey Holt is one of the best wide receivers of my generation, and I could totally see it. Very much Torrey Holtish.
He's very confident. His comment, I'm about to take off, as if he hasn't arrived already.
I know.
Dude.
I love that. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like one of these basketball players who's like a sixth man for no reason because he's on a good team. Kind of like Harden.
Yeah.
Like, remember when Harden was on the Thunder? They didn't really have that many shots for him. And then he went to Houston. They were like, hey, man, take 25 shots. I don't give a damn. And it was like, oh, did Harden improve or did he just get a green light? Like, someone needs to give Aiyuk the green light and stop making him compete. Like, in no world should Debo get more targets than him. I'm sorry. Right. Those days are over.
Right.
Those days are over.
What would Manu Ginobili's career have been if he was a starting two guard for his whole career with somebody else?
He was over there taking like 12 shots a game, man. But he liked it. He liked the role.
Yeah.
Okay, what else did Brandon Aiyuk say that piqued your interest?
The last thing was that he plans to work out with Trey again this offseason.
Yeah.
He was asked about it, and he said, yeah, we're still trying to figure that out, but we want to get more people involved. Maybe we'll go to Nashville where Kittle's at. We got to see where these guys are at. But to me, that said, I'm the leader. I'm going to organize it. I don't want it to just be Trey and I. I want to get as many team members that I can get involved in this thing as possible so that we can get better. I love that, man. This
also, like, they can't rally around the quarterback because Kyle hasn't picked one.
Yep.
That puts the whole team in a tough position. It'd be great if Kyle picked one and was like, look, Brock's leader in the clubhouse, but we don't know when he's coming back. So in the meantime, we're going with Trey. And Trey's a starter, so everyone's going to work out with Trey. Then you could have Camp Trey. Meet up somewhere. Now you don't know what to do. You get all these mixed messages from your coach. And so at least Brandon and I felt he was in a tough position all offseason. Like, hey, why aren't you working out with Trey? Am I supposed to? Is he the quarterback? Is he going to get traded? No one's telling me.
Right.
So I like that Aiyuk's leading where Kyle won't.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And he also, without saying anything, and it was not intentional by any means, but he talked about the passes from Trey and how catchable they are.
Very catchable. I mean, I'm just saying that 40. I'm curious to see if the Niners put out that 40-yard deep throw from Trey. Because in the past, anytime one of their quarterbacks has a nice throw in practice, they put it out. I mean, they've been doing it since Kaepernick was the guy.
Yep.
Like, that was a hell of a throw.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to pump up his trade value, like, do you want anyone to think that you like this guy? Or do you want people to think, including Trey, that you don't like him? Because you're doing a great job of creating that impression. Yeah. Just a great, I don't know how it helps you to create that impression, but that's the impression you're creating. So good.
And to Flav's comment, he's right. Even if the goal is to trade him, you're doing an awful job. Yeah. Awful job.
You're not going to pump up Sam Darnold's trade value. There's nothing there. No one's going to freaking care. Cares. No one cares. It's over for Sam. Anyway, David says Trey lost QB1 to injury, then split reps with Darnold. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. If he went 2-15 last year, I'd get it. But he didn't. He lost his quarterback. So Trey loses his job to injury, and now he has to compete with Sam Darnold. Brock Purdy loses his job to injury. Is he going to have to compete? I would love to see that.
Yeah.
Love to see that. Fame Corona says Grant for president. It's too much. It's too much.
Got my vote.
Too much. Black Cat says at this point, start Trey. Sam is backup. Cut Brock. Cut Brock. Do you think Brock can play in the XFL or should he just quit altogether? Shut up. He's being facetious. Dustin the Gale says, here's $5. Love you, Black Cats, but come on, man. We all like Brock Purdy. Nothing against Brock here.
Yeah.
I just said he put out some of the best tape of rookie quarterbacks put out in a long time. Like, he has leverage here. He should use it.
I don't think anybody, I don't know. You can't be honest about your assessment without getting it from one side or the other. You know, it's like,
it's okay.
Brock Purdy is shown to be good. He definitely deserves to start based off of everything we've seen, but I'm not going to just go all in that Brock Purdy's the franchise guy either. That none of them might be the guy. That's also possible.
Right. That's why I think today was so discouraging, because to me, Brock is a nice story. He's a good quarterback. But even if it all works out for Brock, he's not going to be elite. And I know some people might disagree with me, but I think most people would agree with me that even best case scenario for Brock Purdy is he's not an elite quarterback. You know, he's a guy you can win with on this team if all of these players are here, which they won't be forever. But he's not. So who could be elite on this team? Maybe Trey, maybe Darnold. Probably not Darnold, maybe Trey. But you won't even give Trey a shot. So you're back to hoping you can get, serviceable plus quarterback play for a long time. Like, that sucks. That sucks. Yeah. Sorry.
It does suck. It does. And it
just sucks.
It's funny because that's what you went all in to trade for Trey Lance.
That's why you mortgage your future.
Get out of.
Get out of it. Yeah. And it's great. You got Brock. It's great to have that. But don't settle for that. And now you're having a quarterback competition to see who can do that. That's what you want your quarterback to do now? Dink and dunk? It's a dink and dunk competition, dog. I swear to God. They're literally having a dink and dunk competition in Santa Clara right now. It's absurd. It's freaking absurd. I can't get over it.